You know what time it is. It is time for me to plug and be all up on your feed because I've put out so many reviews in such a short amount of time. Whew, sorry, and thank you for bearing with me as I do more of these fast and quick reviews. My name is Matt from Diazable. Yeah, I talk about music. I do music reviews, heavy, punk, hardcore music, and all the things under the sun I talk about, and I'm doing this in hopes of making a career out of this. So if you found this and you like it, thank you. Like, subscribe, comment, the usual. Check it out. Yeah. Today I'm continuing my series of listening to particular bands' previous catalog before listening to their newest album that dropped in this past year, because they are very big and like genre defying band, and I feel like it was unfair to just listen to their new album without checking out their previous stuff. And they're a band that has influenced a lot of hardcore and punk bands, so I wanted to pay, I guess, proper respect before I go into their new album. So, and that band is AFI, A Fire Inside, with their album The Art of Drowning, that came out back in like I think 2000, so it's like 25 years old now. Woo. We time traveling here. Yeah. For those who don't know, AFI, big punk hardcore band out from California, been doing it long and hard for about 30 plus years now, since like the early 1990s. They've redefined themselves multiple times. They have influenced countless bands. They've changed multiple times, and they are a punk and hardcore band as anyone could say that they are. I mean, they are. They just have always been punk and hardcore, but they've always kind of transcended each time with each album. So I'm very excited to talk about each album and go through this journey. And if you are interested in it, keep watching. So I'm going to talk about The Art of Drowning. Yeah. So their last release that I thought was quite pivotal, that everyone should say I should check out, All Hollows EP. I would say that was the sound of AFI finding their identity in the shadows and everything, that gothic, dark style that they started to blend with that EP. This album here is that EP, but fully fleshed out, and them learning from that dark gothic style that they incorporated with that short little EP. From the opening track, Initiation, the slow pick guitars and deep bass set a tension that bursts into controlled chaos, signaling the duality that runs throughout this whole album. Fast, furious songs like The Lost Souls and Smile showcase the band's punk roots, with Davey Havok's urgent vocals riding thick drums and commanding bass lines, while other tracks like Ever and Day and 6 to 8 pull back into more introspective territory, providing the band understand the power of restraint and emotional pacing. They really started to just not be so fast and punk with their music here. They're stripping things down a little bit, trying to be a little bit more introspective and just a little bit darker, and it works. It's a good payoff. It's a good transition from their first album to this. It's like, I think at this point they've been a band for 10 years, so they were really starting to get into their groove. New members have been in the band for a while now, so I think this is the point where they really started to mesh together and really carve out the AFI sound that everyone was going to grow to love. The rhythm section is the heartbeat here. Bass lines drive songs like the Niflham and of Greetings and Goodbyes, giving them some weight and groove, while the drums maintain clarity and intensity without ever really feeling messy. It's a very well structured album. And then you have AFI's use of layered vocals, especially backing vocals. They add a lot of like nuance and just, peak and just turn into these choruses that have just a huge and large feel to them. Like I said on my last review, they are really good at using backing vocals and whoa-ohs and certain like cadences to really make their song sound really big, and they're doing them big here. Then it's then you get let's see, the songs, particularly like on the songs The Days of Phoenix and Wester, they have a very like communal sense of singing along and everything. It makes you want to sing when you hear these songs. Even some subtle touches like synths in the Despair Factor, violins on Morning Star enrich the textures without really diluting the band's identity throughout this whole album. Lyrically, Havok continues to escalate and just really oscillate between, personal introspective and very theatrical storytelling. His writing has gotten better. It's a little bit more grand, it's a little bit more obscure, but it is more deep than ever. Songs like A Story of Three and Catch a Hot One explore loss, longing, and identity, while Sacrifice Theory and Battled deliver punk immediacy with emotional punch. Like, yeah, they are going in a different direction here, but they're not really forgetting where they come from by adding these songs that have some really punk flair to them. The album's peaks and valleys really are explosive on the song Smile versus the haunting, more calmingness on the song Ever and a Day. They feel very intentional, very calculated, very immersive in their mood. These highs and lows, it wasn't an accident. They definitely carved out a particular style with this album. While the record occasionally risks some repetitiveness during like Restless Burst on Wester and Catch a Hot One, they can kind of blur together with the intensity. These minor flaws really outweigh the album's overall cohesive and ambitiousness. Every element from the guitars to Havoc's very distinctive vocals feels very deliberate and on purpose. Like, as every band, they're trying to make things on purpose. I know that sounds really dumb, but it really feels like, you know, they were on like a mission statement here. They really wanted to make something here and not just, you know, we're making an album. No, they wanted to do something a little bit bigger and bolder with this effort. And I think that's just a lot of what AFI does. They don't just make records to make records. They make them when they feel it and how they are feeling in the moment. It might take longer. It might take some time, before they release different albums, but they always seem to have a certain urgency to them. I would say what else? And yeah, and The Art of Drowning isn't AFI running from darkness. It's them embracing it, finding beauty in the tension and drama they create. In the end, The Art of Drowning is a baptism in sound. It's an album where AFI refines their identity, balance out punk urgency with gothic elegance. It's immersive, it's confident, and it's theatrical. A record that rewards repeat listens and demonstrates why the band became a cornerstone to the genre. And I'm starting to understand why so many people talk about this band, why they're so influential. They just sound so good and they are putting out really good stuff. For the listener, if you want to get into some darker, more moodier music, this album will do it for you. They have mastered the craft of, you know, tension, contrast, and atmospheric depth, and they've only gotten like halfway or even just barely starting with their career. We're at this point, because at this point, they're only 10 years into their career. They still have another 20 years of putting out material that I've got to cover up until their new album in 2025. So this is definitely a very defining moment in their career, and I understand why everyone wanted me to check out this album in particular. I would have to give The Art of Drowning, this album from AFI from 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. Surprised it holds up really well, and I would give it a good and solid 8.5 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album, and you know, what other AFI songs you like and other AFI moments that you really enjoyed. Tell me some AFI stories. And until next time, guys, see you in the pit.